Well, the Bible says it isn't good for man to be alone, nor is it good for a child to be alone. So, is Elon Musk and Ashley St. Clair's very public discourse about having a kid that he's no longer available for? Is this a problem for him? Is it a problem for the child? Let's get into it.
Elon directly, and he's tweeting you. And again, is any of this, imagine this kid is 10 years old reading these exchanges, which is what's going to happen. Again, there's a kid.
Kids are a fundamental good, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to have a gaggle of them. My wife has been pregnant 5 times, and we have our 4th child who's only a week old now. But I don't believe that it's wonderful for someone, even if you have all the money in the world, to be able to just sow your seed wherever you want, because ultimately there is a kid at the end of it who's going to grow up in a household without a dad. And part of this channel was to promote fatherhood as the foremost value that could help our country restore and revive some of its traditional ideas for what the family could be, how it is the original polity, the best part of what it is to be a man, and how that can engage us with more successful a future of fatherhood in America. So ultimately, Elon, it would be better if he didn't have 13 kids with, 5 different women or whatever it happens to be. Ashley St. Clair also not handling this in an ideal fashion. She seems to have had the child for a motive that may be a little less than savory in order to, receive clout, potentially even to be able to increase her wellness platform in the community. And I say that because she immediately went to the media after she got stood up or ghosted on Valentine's Day by Elon. There's one really easy way to avoid having these butt hurt feelings in these circumstances, which is not to have a baby out of wedlock or not to have a child when you're not prepared to at all. Ashley St. Clair seems to be a bit of a clout chaser. Elon seems to be a bit of a seed sower, and both are at fault. Neither one is having a great time of it. And it would be better for the conservative movement if we were able to represent the values of faith, family, and freedom in that order, so that we might be able to not have these families that are more attuned to what modern society says family should be, which is as long as there's love, that's all you need. No matter what the composition of the family is, as long as the child receives love, that's all you need. Frankly, the statistics don't bear that out. Kids who come from a married family, a family where the father is within the household, do fundamentally better. And in fact, if they grow up without a father in the household, they have a better chance of going to prison than they do graduating college. Now, I wouldn't imagine that somebody who has the privileges of wealth are going to enter into that same consequence of not having a father in the household. But also, we do look at some of the consequences of Elon not being around for his other children, which are evident in his interview with Jordan Peterson, which is when he said that he's decided to fight against wokeness because of the results of what happens to one of his sons during the COVID period. So you can look that up if you have any curiosity about what that was. Some of you or most of you may already know what that is. Ultimately, if conservatism is going to win any victories in this era where it seems like they have the cultural mandate to push the ball forward because of the recent election, and having control over the House, Senate, and the judiciary at this time. If we're going to win any victories, we have to demonstrate that the family and faith focus of our party is what is the ideal that people can lend themselves to, that people can shoot for, that will present a superior life. So this ultimately is the way that we can push the ball forward. It would be best if our representatives, Elon included, were not completely rewriting what it means and what it looks like to be conservative. Now, he is a former liberal or possibly even a classical liberal. We shouldn't expect that to be rewritten overnight. And he, like many others, have been pushed out of the Democrat Party because of the way that their winds have been blowing. And so ultimately, it's up to us to try to inculcate those individuals into what it looks like to have a biblical worldview, if possible, or a fundamental conservatism that's based in the attributes of faith, family, and freedom, which can be the ideal for us moving forward.